everyone, my name is Candy and this is Sweet Skeins on the Handmade by Candy YouTube channel. I am here for my monthly podcast. I'm sticking with it. I have done a decent amount of knitting this month. I haven't finished anything though, so we're just gonna go through my whips. I also didn't cast anything on. Who am I? So we have a lot of whips to talk about. All of them you will have seen started in my previous video. This is Piper, my handy dandy furball sidekick. And you may hear the other furball sidekick clickety clacking in the kitchen. His name is Max. I guess I'll just get started. I have my iPad here to kind of help me remember things. So I'm gonna go in the order that I started these whips. And the first, or the oldest whip that I have started on March 27th of 2026, because I have no whips from before that. It's so exciting. I'm still thrilled about that. So the first one is Brume. Like I said, started May 27th, 2026. I have not done much at all since, I don't think I've done much at all. I honestly don't know if the marker I have on here, what am I doing? There it goes. If the marker I have on here, right here, is where I left off last. It might be. And if that's the case, I have sleeves now. I might not have had both sleeves yet. So I have tried on tubing with me here because I have two things in a position where I can do this. So I will go ahead and try this one on. This, I think I said this last time, but just in case, is Brume by Andrea Mowry. I am knitting it out of Sewrella yarn. Woolly, it's the woolly base. Here's a skein that I do not have connected, and it is a floofy yarn with a core. They are all of the, goodness me, I could have been better prepared. It's 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 50 gram skeins, 164 yards per skein, considered sport weight, but as you can see with the floof, it can knit up at a heavier gauge than that. So I didn't gauge swatch this because I was terrified about how it would frog. So that's why. Always do your gauge swatch, even though mine like to lie to me. And I am knitting the size 2 instructions, but I figured out that I'm getting the size 3 measurements. Like, I'm based on the gauge I do have, I'm gonna end up with like a size 3 finished object. So as you can see, some decent amount of ease, but that's what I wanted. I wanted a cozy throw on sweater. I have basically just the body to go because you start with the collar, it's raglan. So you do that. I got to a stopping point on my skein, which I have now rejoined, but I know I had gotten to a stopping spot on my skein. So I picked up and knit my sleeves. I have not woven in my ends yet, but I do like a long sleeve, I think. But I may have actually knit these to measurements in the pattern because they happen to match my numbers. I like 18 to 19 inch sleeves. So that's roughly how long these are, including the ribbing. And this is gonna be so cozy. So cozy. I'm so excited. It's gotten backburnered because of a different whip that I need to get a hustle on. But I do look forward to picking this up because I do think that now that I am just on the body and it's plain stockinette, this is, well, until there's ribbing at the bottom, but it will go pretty quick. And I don't know if I will knit till my yarn's all gone because I don't want it super long, but I do want this cozy. So it might end up longer than in the pattern, regardless of my previously mentioned in other videos, longer torso than Andrea Mowry, at least based on the length I like in my garments compared to the length she recommends in her patterns. And that's just a personal preference. So that is Brume. And let me get this back off because I will need it again. Put my little llamas back on so my stitches don't fall off. Aren't those cute? Cute little llamas. So yes, that is the Brume on my needles for about 2 months. Today is March 29th. So yeah, 2 months. I have a feeling June is going to be a heavy finish month, which I am fine with. So that is, shove it in there, Brume. Brume, done. What's next? Next up, I have written down my vanilla socks on 9-inch circular. I started these on March 28th. I don't think I had gotten very far. I honestly don't know where I had gotten at the end of April, but I know I kind of have stalled out on these a little bit. So I may or may not have finished this one from the last video, but I am in the gusset decreases on sock number 2. And the pattern I'm using is the vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars by the Crazy Sock Lady. And I am doing slightly modified. I started with casting on 60 stitches for the leg, and in the gusset decreases, I'm taking it down to 56 stitches, and otherwise mostly following pattern. I did shorten the leg on this pair. I might, which is fine, but I may not shorten the leg on future socks. The yarn is from Yarnaceous Fibers. The mini, which I am doing the cuff and toes with, is this pretty like pale, honestly cloud color, dingy cloud color. It's their Salta fingering base, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. The 20-gram mini is 87 yards. And this is from their Yarn and Book box for Shield of Sparrows, and the mini's colorway name is Odessa. So that is that. And then the full skein, which apparently is a hot mess in here. We will deal with that later. But this is the full skein, more blue, some gray. It's, as you can see, quite tonal. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's not pooling or doing anything goofy. I'm really loving it. I'm gonna have to deal with that. I am barely like making a dent in this, so I have a feeling that I have plenty of yarn left. Same base, same dyer, Yarnaceous Fibers. This is Shield of Sparrows. The Sparrow is the colorway for this one. So moving right along. In the gusset decreases, so I think I figured out I have about 6 more of those to go before I'm just on the foot, and my foot isn't very long, so the foot won't take much, and then I'm into the toe. So that is whip number 2. Kind of sad that the socks are taking 2 months, but they're also only knit on while walking. So they only get about 30 to 40 minutes of knitting at a time, and not every day. So I guess it's not terribly surprising it's been 2 months. Okay, the next thing I have on here is my DRK Everyday Sweater. Started on April the 1st, and I did mark where I was on here. I think, yep, it's this stitch marker was where I left off last time, and I did not have sleeves the last time. So I am gonna go ahead and put this on again because I'm excited to try it on now with 2 sleeves, not just 1 sleeve, and see how I'm liking it, because I work on this. This is my bedtime knitting, one of my bedtime knittings. So I usually am in my pajamas and don't have undergarments, well, the upper body undergarment on whenever I am knitting this. So I don't like trying things on when I don't have a bra on because it's not gonna lay the same. So I'm excited to actually do this. And I have 2 strings hanging off here because I am doing helical knitting. What is going on? Okay. I'm doing helical knitting because I have 2 dye lots. This yarn is a bear to wind, but a joy to work with. Okay. So this is, again, the DRK Everyday Sweater by Andrea Mowry. Started on April 1st. I'm using Malabrigo Caprino, which is 80% super fine merino, not super wash, super fine, and 20% cashmere in the colorway Grease, but a lovely gray. It's a tonal. There is some variation to it, not like drastic, but oh, yay! I did add about an inch after I did my last decrease to these sleeves because I wanted to have enough sleeve for elbow tacks, where like the yarn just get bunched up in there. So this is exciting. And I am back into the body barely from when I stopped to do sleeves, and I just have about yay to go. I will Piper. Hi, kitty cat. Thank you, co-host. This is gonna be a lovely, just easy to go with anything sweater. Hi. Mandatory pets. This is round yoke, and am I knitting the size 2 on this as well? Yes, I'm knitting the size 2. But I did make a modification when splitting for the sleeves. I shifted 8 stitches from what would be the back onto the front, 4 on either side of the sleeves. From, like, in the instructions, I stopped the back stitches 4 stitches sooner, did my sleeve split, knit 4, and then did 8 stitches extra compared to what was written for the front. Did my sleeve, so I had 4 less on the back. And that's just to accommodate the bust, so I don't get any weird hanging issues. And I was nervous on how it was gonna fit and lay, but I think, oh, that was the right move. That was the right move. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Yay! So this sweater is part of the Eat, Sleep, Knit second quarter round yoke knit along. So I need to have it finished by the end of June. And as you can see, I just have a body to go, so that shouldn't be too terrible. And that is priority 1A. I have priority 1B as well, but priority 1A is to get this done by the end of June. So hopefully the next time you see me, this is finished, or darn near. Depends on when I get to film. But yeah, oh, yay. I'm so excited. This is fitting. Oh, what is my hair doing? It's the downside of doing try-ons on video. I don't get to, even if I did make myself purty, which, sorry for the eyebrows, guys. If you can tell, I have not done anything about the straggling eyebrow hairs in, I don't even know how long. I feel like I do it and then immediately they are right back. So, but it's probably been a few weeks. So I apologize. I'm not as pretty as I could be, but I don't care. So you shouldn't either. I'm happy with it. We're good. So that is sweater number 2. Both sweaters are very plain, easy knitting, so they are great for bedtime because if I start to knot off, it's not like I'm getting out of pattern. I will have to worry a little bit more when I get to the ribbing on those, but future Candy's problem. Okay. Moving on, the next thing I have is my Jaunty. It has progressed. I have not had to frog it again since last time. Okay, so last you saw it was here. I left this stitch marker in. So I haven't done a ton since last you saw, but I have officially, like, this is the midway point. I've officially done a decrease, and it is yay long. So I will aggressively block this for extra length, but I have officially turned and done decreases, so I'm on the tail end of this skein, the first skein, and then I will get to move right along into the next one. And this project has been punted. It is far from priority. It has no deadline. It was just a fun cast on. I'm just knitting it. I feel like I probably haven't touched it since the weekend of that I recorded last. That was probably the last time I worked on it. And that's okay, because it got some love. My final whip to show you is the baby blanket. This is priority 1B. If the sweater's 1A, this is 1B, because the baby shower is going to be in early August, and I would love to have this done in time for the shower. The baby isn't due until early October, so I will still have time if I don't get it done by the shower to get it to the mama before the baby's born. But I've definitely made headway on here. I think I may have been, was I in the red? Or was I not even to the red? One of those. But as you can see, I've done another cream stripe, an orange stripe, and I am about a third of the way through another cream stripe. This is gonna be perfect for like a car seat cover, because it's nice and thin. It's definitely not a tight gauge. As you can see, like, you can see through it. So it's not gonna be a blanket for warmth, more of a blanket for shade, for just a wind barrier, that kind of thing. But yeah, my goal at this point is 1 stripe a week, and I will hopefully have it done in time. So I have to finish this cream by the end of the weekend. I can do it. I would like to get a little ahead of myself and give myself some buffer, because I do have, the yarn is the Queensland collection Rainbow Cake self-striping cotton. It is a sport weight. It is 200 grams, 875 yards. So I will be knitting this until it's basically gone. So I'm in the cream, and then I have yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet before the final cream. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more stripes. I got June, July. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing like a stripe and a half a week. It's easy knitting. It's just knits and purls. So it's not hard knitting. It's just kind of boring knitting, if I'm being honest. All of my knitting is very mindless, which is great, but also kind of boring. But I'm not letting myself cast anything new on until one, if not both of those sweaters are done, because getting a little ridiculous. I still want to make other things, but this baby blanket and the DRK everyday sweater are my priority to get done. I want to make baby sweaters still. I have 2 other friends who are having babies, so I want to make more than just this blanket. But that is the end of my whips. As mentioned, I have not cast anything on. I still want to cast on the Prospect Tee. I still want to make another Solace by Rebecca Clow. I still want to knit some baby sweaters. But at the beginning of May, my husband got to come back to days. We don't know if it's permanent, but it will go through at least most of July, which has been great. But it's meant I have less knitting time somehow, even though I have help doing bedtime. I don't know. I've knit less. I've knit a lot, but I've knit less. So we'll see how June goes. We have a fair amount of things going on in the next few months, but that's where I guess it's a good thing that I have easy mindless knitting. I do have acquisitions to show. It's all from one shop. It's from Mother's Day weekend, so it was my little treat. We went to Nashville just to get away have a little family trip where, yes, it was Mother's Day weekend, but it was for the family. The Mother's Day part, the special, I want to do this because it's Mother's Day weekend, was the trip to the yarn store. I went to Bliss Yarns. I would have loved to have gone to others, but we just didn't have time, and we had the kids with us, and my daughter did so good at this store that I didn't want to tempt fate at any of the others, because she did go in with me and she helped me pick. So in this bag is 600 grams of yarn, and as you have previously heard already, I didn't finish anything, so I have no stash leaving my stash. So it's a darn good thing I destashed a lot last month, because even with this 600 yards, I'm still stash negative for the year, for now, by 280 yards. So let's get into it. What are my pretties? I haven't even looked at these since Mother's Day. I didn't want to mess them up and put them away and hide them from myself. So the first thing, yes, this is, the colorway is Bliss Yarns because it was a shop exclusive from this dyer. This is Dusk to Dawn fibers. The base is Hunter's Moon fingering. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards to the 100 grams. And it's just pretty. Like, I got this with the intention of it being socks. They also only had, I think, 2 skeins left at the time, so I wasn't going to be able to do much other than that. Yes, fingering weight, you can get like a tank type top in my size, but socks or maybe a shawl, we'll see. From that, next up, I stuck to stuff I cannot get locally to me and not at the websites I tend to shop from. So that way it was fun stuff. This beautiful blue is Twisted Ambition Yarns Twisted Ambitions Yarn Wicked DK base. It is 100% superwash merino, which I have been getting away from, but this was just too pretty to walk away from. This is the one where I asked my daughter, I was like, do I get this color or another color that was equally beautiful? And she picked blue, because she's a little novice knitter and she wants my leftovers. But this is Lemnos on the Wicked DK base, 250 yards to 115 grams. It's a 4-ply. So a nice hand dyer. Looks like they're based in Oklahoma. So I got 3 skeins because I know I can get a soulless DK out of 3 skeins. I could get a Tolsta DK out of 3 skeins. I could probably get one of Rebecca Clove's other t-shirt patterns out of 3 skeins for DK. So I figured I have some options there, and oh, it's so pretty. And I think that'll look really good on me. So 3 skeins of that. And the last thing I acquired from Bliss Yarns is technically 4 things. They're 50 gram skeins. So I got 200 grams of this. Okay, it's Amano yarns. The base is Duna. This is yarn made in Peru. 100%, no it's not. 60% organic cotton, 40% alpaca. It is 50 grams, 218 yards. So it's technically a fingering weight. And I got 4 of them, and I don't really think there's a colorway name here. No, it's just color number 2600. And I did get all the same dye lot, so that's good. So I didn't have as concrete a plans here, but look, I did look in store, and the fingering weight version of any of Rebecca Clove's patterns or a couple of the like Tori Yu patterns, I think I can get away with 200 grams. So that's my yarn acquisitions for May. And I'll have this up in time. If you are local to the southern half of Indiana, I guess, or it's not too terribly far. The Hoosier Hills Fiber Festival is the first weekend in June, and I get to go on Saturday. My husband is keeping the kids, and I'm going with a couple knitter friends, and we're gonna go look at some yarn. I have nothing I want to like specifically purchase yarn for, so who knows what will happen. I'm gonna try and keep myself in check. May end up making decisions based on like samples I see, or just beautiful colorways, that kind of thing. I'm probably gonna avoid any more superwash yarn because I have so much of it, and I would like to broaden my breed horizon and look at bases that are maybe not merino, and any summer yarns if they have them. So yeah, that's what's coming up. And knitting on these whips. I have time before the children are done with daycare and my husband's home from work. So I'm gonna do a couple things around this house and then get to knitting. It was great to have you back. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Give me a follow if you want to see more of my content or future progress. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.